Okay. Camera's off. There we go. How's everybody doing today? It is a wonderful Friday afternoon. And the weather is absolutely beautiful here in southern Missouri. My Apple Pencil is not connected to my iPad. I gotta stab that in there like that. There we go. Yeah, it's wonderful weather today here in southern Missouri, and I'm ready to do this. Hello, how's it going? Hope you're having a good night. Are you ready to design the final character in our November sticker pack? We're going to be working on the Carver himself. I need to change the way this is showing so you guys can see the whole process. All right. Now I'm going to pop this out and set it over here where I can see it nice and big. I probably don't need a whole lot of reference art today because I'm drawing a pizza cutter, and pizza cutters is pizza cutters, right? So that makes life a little easy. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna be basically doing that. We're gonna draw a pizza cutter with pizza cutter hands who wields a chainsaw pizza cutter and is also a vampire as our very last character in this November sticker design set. I have had a lot of fun with this one. There is a part of me that if you went back in time a year and said, Matt, not only are you going to have a little bit of a following, enough to have a Patreon as an illustrator, but also one of the things that you might become somewhat known for is drawing food as people, I would have been like, actually, that sounds pretty logical, pretty likely, pretty much like myself. And that is what has come to pass, really. So, anyway, I guess there's not much reason to keep stalling. It's not like I am waiting for a bunch of people to get here or anything like that. We can just go ahead and do a little thing, do a little work, get something going. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the grid, but I'm not going to use symmetry today. I am going to try to get a nice, super chaotic, like crazy person pose. I want a real good, like, chainsaw wielding psychopath pose. That's what I'm really trying to get done today. So we're going to start with like little head here and just get this line of action going. Maybe with just like a little bit of a stick figure. That's what they call these, stick figure. So we'll just like start with this dude like this. I don't know. Maybe I do need reference art because maybe I need to be able to see what a chainsaw looks like. This comes off like this. I know there's a little handle here, and then bring this back where we got a little bit more space. And a little chainsaw. But this isn't just a chainsaw. This is a chainsaw pizza cutter. Like that. And then I just think I'm going to not give him legs. Like, I think Carver Von Slice just kind of bounces around. Do the thing in the place with the stuff alongside you know who. That's the plan. Oh yeah, that's the plan. That's the good stuff. So this is one possible pose right here. Like, you know, we got our chainsaw pizza cutter guy here, and then we'll just make his head just a little bit bigger so that this has to come out a little bit wider. And then grrr. I'm a vampire. Of course, I'll need like a vampire cape. Something like that. That's a possibility, right? We'll put you over here. Just put you in the possibility pile. How are you doing tonight? Are you having a good Friday evening? Are you ready for your weekend? You know what occurred to me a little while ago, earlier today? I was sitting around and talking about what I had to get done, and I was like, you know what I don't have to do? One, I don't have to cut 200 stickers tonight. That's really a great thing for me. I don't have to make 200 stickers today. But also, I don't have to get up at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. I can sleep in all day long. And basically have the entire day. I don't have to get up at all. When you said no legs, my brain saw him rolling like Rosie from the Jetsons. Oh, that's a possibility too. Like maybe we turn that pizza carver upside down and we have like this thing, and then his body would come off of it like this. And then maybe pizza carver hand, and his weapon. Oops, I wanted to draw that on a new layer. That's the whole point of thumbnailing, is put everything on different layers so I don't have to duplicate selection. And then come here, done, and erase. Yeah. So yeah, something like this. And then he's got his pizza cutter here. My week has been too many extreme highs and lows. I'm sorry to hear that. I kind of can relate because it's been a weird week for me also. I've had a bit of jerk brain this week. I will be up early to vote so I can get that over with. You're going to go in and vote tomorrow? Because it's Saturday. So, I was thinking about voting early, and then I went and got my license plates done instead. And I realized, though, I kind of live in a district where if every single person in the district is at the voting place, the polling place, ahead of me in line, it'll still only take like half an hour. So, not the end of the world for me to vote on Tuesday. Also, since I don't have a quote unquote real job, I can go Tuesday morning and not be too terribly worried about it. Another thing I legitimately thought of doing with this character was like, what if we do like a Chainsaw Man kind of scenario where it's like, these are my hands and they're also chainsaws. Rah, but he's pizza cutters, you know? So it's like his head is a pizza cutter, his arms are pizza cutters, just like Chainsaw Man. That's a possibility of a thing I thought about with this character. Yeti Detective, how's it going? Real job, says the business owner / artist. One of that. Oh, you didn't come by the trunk or treat last night, so I didn't get to see Halloween costumes. I say quote unquote real job because I'm self-employed, and so I make my own hours. But what that generally means as a small business owner / artist is that my hours are like 10 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock in the morning most days. She has a famous picture of The Rock in the turtleneck and fanny pack. Oh my God. I bet that was amazing. She would rule that is awesome. I can 100% picture that in my head, and two thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. I don't even have to see the costume. That is brilliant. I slacked off and didn't wear a costume at all this year. It was a crying shame. I will be better next year, I think. So it happens sometimes. I mean, I never get busy. I just have a lot of people come and get free stickers from me. Sounds about as real as a job gets. I mean, I joke mostly. Oh, she rocked it. Oh, you guys went to a costume contest? So another option we have here while we're having this conversation about Halloween costumes, Halloween is the best time of year. It's my favorite holiday. And if you disagree, you're wrong. What if we like really embraced the like traditional, like the vampire aspect, right? So we've got our pizza cutter guy here, and we do like the Bela Lugosi style vampire cape coming off the neck. Wrap around like that. Really do like maybe a hair, super sharp widow's peak hairline thing like that. Then I want to suck your blood. La la. I usually dress up, but pass this time for I'm overwhelmed. I get it. My problem was that I moved last year and I hadn't had an excuse to get out costuming since I moved, and so I didn't check on it. And all of my costuming was basically gone, which is fine. Most of my stuff didn't make the move. I actually used the move as an excuse to get rid of most of my worldly possessions, which I have since replaced with printers, basically. I also won my apartment building patio decorating contest, which was unexpected. Well, congratulations, and congratulations to Cindy also, because that's awesome. I think that's great. I did very little for Halloween this year, and I actually feel a little bad about it. But our trunk or treat last night actually came out really great. We had a lot of kids show up, had a really good time. It was a good turnout. We'll definitely be doing it again next year, so that's something to look forward to. Maybe little batty ears. All right. So that's an option right there. A little vampire pizza cutter action. I think I have vids and pics. Awesome. That's cool. I think right now of the 4 designs that we've thrown together so far, I like the one with Rosie the robot with the pizza cutter on the bottom. And I also like this just pose. And I might mix these two together because I like this pose and the concept of the Rosie the robot upside down pizza cutter, Carver legs. Although I also do like this one. I'm not sold on my vampire here. Really, he just looks like a vampire, like game of life token marker thing, you know? So we'll see. I think I'm going to try to mix these two poses together and see if we can't come up with something really exciting to mix the two. So I want a nice, like I said, I want a nice line of action curve, and I'll do the pizza cutter wheel here first, like this. And also, this wasn't the intention. It was like the Rosie the robot kind of thing was the idea, but also it gives Gizmo Duck. This is really giving Gizmo Duck for me, which is a nostalgia factor for me at the very least. Really brings it in. And I think I'm going to do like something like this, where the handle is a little more squared off, just to give a little more defined shape to it. And that gives me the ability to come down here and have this little pizza fender, this little gizmo, the thing that gives Gizmo Duck really. Little thing that attaches the cutter. And then we've got this wheel like that. And then that lets me mark arms. This might be too big for the pose I want, so I'm going to bring them down a little bit like this, because I want the pose to come up above. So we'll bring hands up here again. And this one goes like this. This one just will go straight up. And we don't need to see that through anymore. Boo-doo-boo-doo-doo. And chainsaw part here. And cutter blade. I think I'm going to grab little reference images for a chainsaw. Oops, not a chainsaw man, an actual chainsaw. Boop. This is the song I hum when I'm looking for reference art. So like a little handle comes off like this. And have a little smoke cloud. And maybe we can still give him that cape, because he is still a vampire, right? So now we can go cape coming around like so. So now he's like part pizza cutter, part claptrap from Borderlands kind of coated here. Definitely got some Gizmo Duck vibes. Maybe give him a unibrow. Big open mouth. So what do you guys think of that? What do you think of that as our villain here? It's a little more cartoony, I think, than our other characters are, but I'm okay with that. I think it's fun. I think it's got a lot of fun shape to it. I think it will come across as exactly the right level of spoopy for what my kind of art usually comes to. I hate to break it to anyone who came here hoping that I was going to make a truly terrifying slasher villain out of a pizza cutter vampire, but that's just probably not something I'm ever going to draw. I am infamously bad at doing anything serious. Oops, as much as I have longed to be a hardcore, I'm going to widen him up a little there. Hardcore punk rock, gritty, dark, sinister art demon with a rainy soul miasma that drives down the darkness and keeps the pain at bay with my clove cigarettes. That's just not who I am as an illustrator. I draw funny dudes, and I think this little funny dude is a good one. I think this looks good. I think I'm gonna enjoy this. So we're gonna do it. This is what we're doing. This is what I'm drawing. I've made up my mind. It is too late to talk me out of it unless you are really, really fast at this point. So let's start with just some basic shape here. All right, I'm just going to bring this up and across and back down. And then just real thin line. It's just a little bit of contour where he bends. like so. And then a little pizza fender. I'm going to call it a pizza fender for the rest of my life now, even though I know it's really there to protect your hand from the pizza cutter while you're cutting pizza. I think I will always in my head imagine it's there to protect the pizza from your hand. Dirty human hands and their dirty human hand contaminants. You know, I'm really happy. I'm glad you suggested this like this, because this was not even remotely on my radar to flip him over and use the carving wheel as like an actual wheel. And I really like it. I think it looks great. I think it's an awesome concept. We're going to take this down to a smaller size brush now. Add a little jewel factor here. Something that's always fun for me, especially when I'm like trying to turn these things into like the bonus stuff, trying to create a little in-world action for you guys, for when I'm making the extra things for you guys, is creating the actual narrative for these characters. And like, what's the deal with the Carver? So now I'm looking at this guy going like, why is the Carver, why is this vampire pizza cutter out murdering teenagers? Like, what is the slasher villain logic, you know? Every slasher villain has their own internal slasher logic. Jason Voorhees kills people that do drugs, drink alcohol, and have premarital sex because that's what caused him to drown as a child. Freddy Krueger is killing the teenage children of the people that literally lynched him to death, right? Mike Myers is just killing babysitters because he was born evil. And that's what his murder thing is. So like, what is Cutter Von Slice's motivation as a slasher villain? That's really where we gotta start working and figuring some things out in universe. Like, you can't pitch a slasher flick without having good motivation for your killer. And like, on the surface, it should be obvious because he's a vampire. He wants to suck their blood. But like, we live in a post-Twilight world where being a vampire doesn't necessarily mean that you have to kill people. Because even Anne Rice's vampires, which was like being a vampire doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a bad person, still had to drink blood to survive. And also they were definitely bad people. His villain story arc. Yeah, like what made him the bad guy? I mean, if we're being completely honest, even like Dracula in that awesome movie starring Keanu Reeves was like Dracula because his wife died and he wanted to remarry Lydia Dietz. Am I mixing movies up? I don't know. I don't watch a lot of horror, guys. That's a reminder. This is kind of outside of my field of expertise. I know a lot about pop culture in general, but this is not my pop cultural knowledge base. Also, someone is going to ask me how he is holding this chainsaw with his pizza carver hands, and I'm not going to know the answer to that. It's movie magic. So what I'm thinking in my head, this is the storyline I've come up with so far. All right. First of all of this, the Carver movie is going to take place in a cabin, you know, off the path, off the beaten grid, as you do, kind of Evil Dead style. These kids go to a cabin to get away from the stress, attach the axles to the chainsaw. That's a that makes sense. No, you have it right. Good. I thought I knew my Keanu Reeves movies at least. So these teenagers are going to this cabin to get away and blow off some stress, as teenagers are prone to do. And while they're at the cabin, they discover a magic jewel. And the magic jewel awakens a vampire sleeping in the cellar of the cabin. Cutter von Slice. And because he wakes up hungry, he must feed. And the only people around for him to feed on are the children, the teenagers. That's as much of the story as I just now wrote up and made up inside my own head. If anyone thinks that was not pre-planned, that was just me winging it off the top of my head, using my Dungeons and Dragons skills. See, when you've DM'd for a long time, you figure out how to make up just enough detail to keep people intrigued. All right, so give me the little nib. Give me the little nib. There. Like this. All right. This is pretty good. I like this quite a bit. I like it. I think it looks great. I'm going to bring in a little thin contour line here. Like that. Maybe another one across here, showing that bends. So there, I put the pizza wheels through the handles like he's got little spokes, so that works. So yeah, it's a little like most good horror movies. You should have been an engineer. Oh no, I have the opposite of practical skills. Like most good horror movies, I think, especially good indie horror movies, it's got to be basically a knockoff of another movie, right? So we're mixing some Evil Dead and some Bram Stoker's Dracula. Are we sure it was Winona Ryder in that movie? That feels right, but it also feels wrong. It's got to be right, though. It's got to be. That's got to be when Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder were dating, right? That was a thing that happened, all you kids out there who are too young to remember the real history of the world. But yeah, like part Evil Dead, part Dracula, part Texas Chainsaw Massacre, part Friday the 13th. That's what we're going for here. And just like all the other slasher villains, the Carver always comes back. So what do you guys think? What do you think of that line art? The Army of Darkness is the best movie ever made. I'm not sure Sam Raimi would even agree with that statement. I am a fan of Bruce Campbell, I was exposed, I have to admit. So here's the thing is, I grew up in a suburb of Kansas City called Belton, Missouri. B-Town. It was a good little town, good little suburb. And in Belton, Missouri, we had a video rental store called Airway Video. It was half of the building was two stores. They were both Airway. One side was a video rental store and the other side was and I've never seen these outside of Missouri, but they're all over Missouri, drive-through liquor store. And the cool thing about Airway Video is that it was like an independent video rental place, right? Like it wasn't like a Blockbuster type of place. It was an indie store. And they only had like the absolute worst B-list movies ever made. Like that's what Airway had. They were the B-tier movies, and nothing else really. Well, they had another section, but I was too young to go into it, if you understand what I'm saying. So my older brother, whom some of you have probably seen in the chat, Paraman, you might even watch his live stream sometimes, or if you come to the C Street Market, you've probably met him. He used to rent a whole bunch of the absolute worst B-list movies there. And one of those B-list movies that he rented that I got exposed to at way too young of an age was a little indie horror flick called Evil Dead. And so Evil Dead and Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2, actually, I think we rented them the same weekend, watched them both at the same time. Evil Dead was like the first real horror experience, because before that, I listened to them watch horror movies, but I didn't get to watch them myself. I think Evil Dead was like my first real horror movie experience. I loved that video store. I rented Puppet Master 10 from there. I didn't even know there were 10 Puppet Master movies. Puppet Master movies are doable for me because they're murder Muppets and I can get away with murder Muppets. It's not real enough for me to get freaked out. Army of Darkness was the first I saw of the series and is probably my favorite. That is literally how everyone feels. I think most people, Army of Darkness is the first one they saw, but it was not for me. Army of Darkness was not out yet when I saw Evil Dead 1 and 2. But here's the important thing to note about Evil Dead 1 and 2. They're the same movie. Basically, they made Evil Dead 1 and then they made Evil Dead 2. But the first half of Evil Dead 1 is just retelling Evil Dead 2 is just retelling Evil Dead 1, but with like 3/4 of the cast removed. And then the second half is, so it's like half of a remake, half of a sequel. And that's to this day why I love Sam Raimi. No one else can pull that off. Yeah. Someone's getting ready for gun season. I am digging this a lot. This is a good character. I'm feeling great about it. I always enjoy a good concept comes to fruition and really just shows off something very dumb becoming something cool. And this concept on paper is kind of dumb, but I think it looks beautiful. How did I screw up? I screwed something up because I lost my... There. Stay like that. This is good. This is a good character. Thank you for all of your support, and also especially right now in this moment, thank you for helping bring this absolute crazy thing into the world. We have done this. This is forever on our heads. But I love it. I think this is genius and a half. Completely super brilliant. I think this is amazing. I'm almost a little sad that this is a Patreon exclusive, but not sad enough to make me change my own rules. Okay, so now we've got our flats in there, flat colors in there. This is fun. This is a fun design. I am going to probably go with a little more contrast on the shadows than I normally would because he's the slasher villain, and that just feels right. So we're on the right layer. Make sure this is set to multiply. And this is going to be fun. I think we have created something very fun for November. I hope you guys are having fun with it also. I also was working on my secret October project today, and it turned out exactly the way I wanted it to, and I think it's going to be really cool. I think you guys will really like it when you open your October packs in a couple weeks. It's again, it's cool enough that I am sad that the market is over, because I would really love to be able to see exactly how you guys react to it. And I'm so hard for me to keep it a surprise, but I feel like the surprise it makes it even better. Like it's going to be cool. So yeah, that's what I did today. I also went and applied to work at a gas station. The gas station not too far from my house it might be looking for someone to do part-time work soon, and it would be great because it'd be like 25 hours a week, and they'd be on days that wouldn't take me away from doing markets or cons or anything, and I'd still get to get out of my house. So yeah, sorry, I just got concentrating for a second there. Sometimes I forget that I am 100% supposed to be entertaining. That's that's the hard part of streaming. It's a skill that I don't think is appreciated enough. The ability to just talk for 90 minutes in my case, or longer for a lot of other streamers, and not forget to keep talking. That's an important part of it. So, I guess here's something that we can discuss in the chat. See what if you guys have any ideas and what you'd like to see. As of this stream, the November Patreon sticker pack character designs will be done. And it takes me a lot longer to do something like the art prints. So I prefer to do them off stream because of the amount of time I need to put into them. I very much don't like working herky jerky on a project. So if I'm going to spend, if a project's going to take me like 20 hours, I want to sit down and work 20 straight hours on it. Probably not the healthiest approach to life, but it's my approach. So that's why I don't generally work on the art prints on stream. That said, this project is about over. So Monday we'll need to do something else on the stream. So I guess what I'm saying is, what do you guys want to do? What do you guys want me to draw? What do you want to hang out and talk about on the stream on Monday? Because the world is our oyster. And we should shuck it. Do you shuck oysters? Do you shuck oysters? Is that what you do with oysters? I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, so Friday is wide open, up in the air. Any suggestions are more than welcome. I am happy to hear them. We can work on whatever we want to work on. Turkey monsters. Turkey monsters definitely sounds like it is up my alley. I was born on Thanksgiving Day, so your birthday's coming up too. There's at least 2 people in this chat who have birthdays in November. Possibly 3, because one of the 2 people in this chat whose birthday is in November might be sharing this live stream with a member of their household who also has a birthday in November, but is not old enough to use a keyboard. You shuck oysters. There's a tool called an oyster shucking knife. Oyster shucking knife is probably a weapon that would really set you apart in the serial killer world if you used it. Like the Criminal Minds people. The Criminal Minds people would be like, this guy is unique. No one has ever used an oyster shucking knife as their signature weapon before. I don't know that to be true. I mean, I'm sure you are a Sagittarius. I don't know if no one's ever used a oyster shucking knife as a weapon. I think we very well could have made the coolest serial killer, the coolest slasher guy of all time here. I think it is a possibility that we have done something truly remarkably awesome and that the world was not ready for. So now I'm going to add some little like bluish highlights on here, just a little bit of blue, like he's in the moon. Just add some highlight action. I think before I'm done, I'm also going to add some red to the eyes. And I'm going to put some shadows, like real deep eyes. Real deep, deep eyes. Like that. Come back up here, do some blue, more highlights. I think it'll be... Oops, that's on the shadow layer. Highlights layer, please. Thank you. Just make him kind of shiny. He is a pizza cutter. You know, he's made of metal. Metal is shiny. Everything should be kind of reflective. We're good to go here. Oh, this is fun. This is a lot of fun. I gotta tell you guys, I look forward to these live streams all day. It's one of those things where I just have a good time doing them, hanging out, drawing some doodles. I actually lately have been really like, do I need to do anything else Like, do I really need to do content creation outside of the live streams? Does it matter? Especially if I get a quote unquote real job. You see the Chiefs reverse glass? I saw it, yes. You showed it to me last night, and I saw it today on your Instagram feed. It looks good. I like it. Okay. So, we are at 5:15, and I feel pretty confident right now that we have drawn what might be the coolest vampire pizza cutter in the history of vampire pizza cutters. This is a great character, guys. Y'all, what do you think? Did we nail this one? Did we understand the assignment, as the kids might say? I think we did. I think it is amazing. I tried to lean away from the microphone so you guys didn't have to hear me drinking. I don't think it works, though. I think I just grossed everyone out with gross drinky sounds. So, now that we've got our pizza cutter vampire drawn, what are we going to do for the next 45 minutes? What do you want to see me draw for the next 45 minutes? I'll draw whatever you are giving me motivation to work on a logo. You should work on a logo. Do it. I'll draw whatever you guys want me to for the next 45 minutes. I'm taking suggestions. ASMR gulps. I've considered being an ASMR channel before because I listen to them all the time and I find it incredibly relaxing. But I have the grossest sounding mouth ever made. Yeah. What are you guys thinking about? I will default to just drawing a turkey monster. This is basically the turkey that I've drawn already. This is basically how I did it. Just like this. It's fully symmetrical. I did it in Illustrator. And then gave it a little chef's hat. Yeah, I feel like I have to say I will draw any suggestions that come in, I will draw, as long as they are PG-13, because I know some of you and I know how your minds work, and you're going to recommend that I draw something that I can't draw without losing my YouTube channel. Don't mind me. I didn't just read a message on my group chat from Yeti Detective that would put me in a special home. Let's see. Turkey monster. So turkey head. Turkeys are big dumb looking critters. We'll go something like this for the line of action. I'm really been working on dynamic poses in my free time lately. I have no idea what a turkey is shaped like. So, oops. Little line of action like this. And then turkeys basically have a neck like this. Head. Bring the head back like this again. Little face action going on. I'm a turkey. I'm a turkey. Rah! Something maybe like that a little bit. I'm looking at a literal picture of a turkey, and turkeys are already monsters. Little body, little haunch action going on. A friend of mine has chickens, and I used to live in his basement. And he had the chickens, and they would follow me around with this hungry look in their eyes. Because chickens are still dinosaurs inside their own heads. And they're just waiting for their opportunity that they can have to eat you. So that's why I have no problem with the number of chicken nuggets I consume in a year. I think this wing actually should come this way. Because those chickens would never hesitate to eat me. So I will never hesitate to eat them first. Figure survival of the fittest. Does this look like a turkey to anybody? I don't know that this necessarily looks like a turkey. But it could be a turkey to me. It could be a turkey. So we've got a little flesh abomination thing coming off the nose like turkeys do. Because they are undead creatures of the night already. Little turkey nose. Yeah, I know it's a beak. I'm calling it a nose anyway. Sue me. Turkey mouth. For the screaming. Little turkey tongue action. It's a turkey monster. This is exactly what a turkey looks like. I'm gonna bring this is tongue way out here as like an abomination. This is a turkey monster. And then eyes just open and full of panic with little tiny pupils. This is a turkey that just realized that it is a turkey. And then they have really pronounced ridgy eyebrows, it looks like. Turkeys are disgusting looking. That's what I have learned today by Googling turkey images. And again, when I say Google, I always actually use Bing. Because if I'm going to use a search engine that has been replaced with AI and isn't going to give me results that I want anyway, I might as well use the one that gives me Amazon gift cards. All right, so I feel like the head. I've gotten that turkey head down. That is a big step in the right direction as far as I am concerned. Also, just in case anyone is curious, if you Google image search, if you Bing image search turkey, something that comes up a lot is the flag of the nation of Turkey. The thing does not know the difference. I didn't know Bing still gave you swag for using Bing. Yes, you still get points. You still get points for using Bing, and you can still turn them in for Amazon gift cards. So there you go. And apparently, if you just look up turkey wing, you get some recipes for delicious looking foods. Okay, so their wing comes around like this. It's a little more roundy. Little roundy wing. Do 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 do. And then this leg haunch down here can have some implied feather action going on. So in addition to dynamic poses, the things that I think I had been working on most of October, I've just started working on dynamic poses this week. The thing that I've been really studying most of October is how to imply detail without having to draw a ton of detail. I have always been a person who draws too much detail when I'm trying to do backgrounds and stuff. It's why I stopped drawing them, because I just did not have the time to do that many, like, draw those things into it. So I was like, how do real quote unquote artists do this? You know, people who went to art school. How do they pull off these backgrounds without spending 9 years on it? And there are two answers. One is some of them just spend 9 years on it. That's just a thing that some people do. But the other is like by carefully drawing the things that make you think that they've drawn a lot of stuff. And that's what I've been studying to get better as an artist, because if you're ever not growing, there's a word for when you stop growing. And that is zombie. So, yep, enjoying the processes. Got to enjoy the process. I don't want to do this thing on the neck because they got weird necks. It's like they got scaly necks that are also feathered at the same time. What are you even? A turkey? Are you a dinosaur still? Are turkeys chickens that are a little bit closer to dinosaur? Is that what we're learning today? If you're not growing, you're shrinking. That's probably accurate. I feel like it's a scientific discovery that I should win an award for the realization that turkeys are chicken kaiju at the very least. I think during Kaijun, I did enough research to learn that a small kaiju doesn't have to be that big. But like, if a turkey is like a standard size kaiju for the chicken world, then an ostrich is like mega Godzilla monster. It's one of the kaiju overlords from Pacific Rim. So a turkey is like, I don't know, the queen alien from, Alien. And an ostrich is like the high end. I have no idea how I want to draw this tail. I don't know anything about turkey anatomy. I am a fraud. I am a fraud. Earlier this week, I watched a panel of voice actors, one of whom was the voice actor that voiced Billy in Invader Zim. And one of the things that came up, they were talking about a voice acting rule that not enough people know about when they first get started is any voice that you do, be ready to do it for a 4-hour recording session. Recording sessions are a minimum of 4 hours long. So he's like, normally he doesn't do much of a difference in his voice, but with Billy, it was a little bit different than his normal voice. And he had never had a problem with it until he had to do a 3-minute straight, it was not looped. It was just him for 3 minutes straight going, destroy us all, destroy us all, destroy us all, destroy us all. Which if you do that level of emotion is you can feel it back here in the back of your throat. And I was like, yeah, I bet if you did that for 3 straight minutes, that would really start to hurt. And he said it was the first time he had been like, maybe we should loop this. And the director was like, well, you're the one who decided to use that voice. So let that be a lesson to anyone out there thinking about becoming a voice actor. Don't, I guess, is the actual lesson. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually do this tail on a different layer because I am having a real hard time drawing it in. So we'll go like, oops. That's one tail feather. The other one comes this way. And we'll just loop them back and forth and back and forth. Like this. There. This is the worst drawn turkey anyone has ever drawn, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. I can go ahead and do a little loopy loop like that. And everything inside of it, oops, can go away. Boop boop boo 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 boo. Ba ba boo 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 ba boo boo boo. Now I can bring this one back up and something's not right there. Something isn't right here. I wanted this wing. Why is it not closed? There, it's open. It's right there. Open right there. Now that body should be closed. There we go. No, it's still open somewhere. Where is it open? This is the downside to doing things the cheaty way. Right there. That's where it's open. That's basically all I really want to do is erase the stuff that I just drew behind other stuff. Do any of you have a word that when you say it, it always feels wrong? For example, Drew always feels wrong when I say it. I'm always like, that can't be the right way that word is used. It's got to be drawed or drawn. You can be drawn. You can be drawn and quartered. That's a thing that can happen to you. Also, I have to admit my attempts to radicalize robots seem to be advancing on pace. They seem to be getting more and more willing to eat the rich, which is a nice bit for me. I feel like everyone says caramel incorrectly. Well, that is one of those words that has multiple correct pronunciations. And everyone disagrees on what is and is not a correct pronunciation. Like, another one of those is the word pecan. And the correct way to pronounce the word pecan is pecan. I refuse to say weren't. The correct way to say pecan is to say pecan. And some people say pecan. And Dragon Ball Z people say PyCon. And technically, in certain situations, all of those people are right. But the only one that's right in my mind are the people who say pecan. Pecan. It's pecan. No, it's not. Fight me. Actually, you know what? No, you have to fight yourself. Fight yourself, and whoever wins, I still win. That's the way that's going to go down. I have no doubt. Well, that's another one. So, context is important for that one, too, because the state is pronounced one way, and the city in Missouri is actually correctly pronounced a different way. So, the state of Nevada and Nevada, Missouri have different ways of being said. It's like another one is pomme de terre. So the French word for potato is pomme de terre. And would make you think that the correct way to pronounce the Missouri city would be also pomme de terre. But the way the people in that city have always pronounced it, and this as a person who has studied a lot of French in his life is going to hurt me to say, it's pomme d'ater. I've only ever heard Nevada pronounced one way. Well, you have Nevada and Nevada. Another one. Speaking of, everyone in this chat is probably lived in or is from Missouri. Another one that I often hear like cringy pronunciation of is Missouri itself. Like, I'm not saying that the pronunciation just sounds funny. Pecan. I've always held to the firm belief that you can tell how far someone lives from one of the 3 major metropolitan areas of Missouri by how they pronounce the word Missouri. If they are from one of the city areas, one of the urban areas, they will say Missouri. If they are from more of the rural areas, they're more likely to say Missouri. And if they have spent any time around a dad, they'll say misery. Because dads like puns. So this is a turkey, I think. I think I'm considering this a turkey. I think I've abused science to the point where I might actually be responsible for something horribly, horribly terrible. But I'm going to color it in anyway. I have a pink head because I'm a turkey. This might be a crime. This might represent a crime against nature. But you know what? Sometimes a crime against nature is just what Mother Nature needs, is you to commit crimes against her. I want the tongue and the head to be the same color. And then we'll come down here and we'll make the legs the same color as the beak. Except for the murder talons, which should be black, like their souls. I don't know how many of you, I don't know anything about turkeys. This might not apply to turkeys. I might be putting my chicken bias onto turkeys. But if you've ever looked into the eyes of a chicken, you see that they do not possess a soul. There is nothing but malice, hatred, and evil in the eyes of a chicken. And since turkeys are just chickens on growth hormones, I have to assume they're the same way. That if you look inside a turkey's eyes, you do not see the light of the creator. You see nothing but the hatred, evil abyss staring back at you in judgment and damnation. That's not true of all birds. If you look into the eyes of a crow, you kind of just get the hint that they're laughing at you because they figured out something that you never will. And if you look into the eyes of a woodpecker, you see a creature that has literally licked its own brain. And that's a maddening abomination that you can't understand and shouldn't try. Literally, that woodpecker has licked its own brain. That's a thing that a woodpecker is capable of doing. And for that, we should respect and honor the woodpecker, but also fear the woodpecker and its madness. Woodpeckers are a form of elder deity, elder god. I said it. It's the way it is. So here's the thing is I am giving this turkey gray feathers because the turkey I am looking at on my screen is black and gray. But the turkey I'm looking at on my screen does not have a big round tail like other turkeys do. It's a different type of turkey, I think. I don't know what type of turkey it is. I know nothing about turkeys. But it works for me for now. And let's come in here and say, here's some shading, Mr. Turkey Head. Death to us all. Death to us all. It does, however, the turkey I'm looking at also doesn't have one of these wobbly things on it. It has like a big sack on its throat. If you would like to be creeped out further, look up turkey burping. Oh no. Oh no, that's terrifyingly inviting. Is there a video? Can I find a video of a turkey burping? Turkey burping. Oh man, the very first thing that comes up is a video. All right, let's watch this turkey burp. This might be the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Okay, the victim. Do I need sound on?
That turkey. Then, just kind of climb right on.
That might be a form of animal abuse. I'm not sure I'm okay with that existing. The internet, that's too much internet for me today. That is peak internet right there. And we wonder why the young people like their Sonic the Hedgehog creepypasta. At least when Sonic the Hedgehog is creepy, it's on purpose. I feel bad for that turkey. That guy mounted it and squeezed it into burping. And I'm not sure that's a thing you're supposed to do. Like, I'm not sure turkeys have a burp reflex. I think that guy just squeezed that turkey into partially exploding. That can't be good for a turkey. I'm literally painting on shadow contour right now for a sketch doodle. That's dedication for you guys. I do this for you. This brings me no... Nah, that's not true. I was going to say this brings me no pleasure. It brings me immense pleasure. Maybe a little... this action going on. Oops. That must not have closed all the way down. Some under turkey. Under turkey? That's my favorite part of the turkey to eat. Okay, real confession. I love chicken. It's one of my favorite foods, especially if you deep fry it. However, I'm not a huge fan of turkey. I don't hate turkey, and I eat a lot of it because it's more healthy for me than other forms of meat. But turkey is kind of a dry, flavorless meat. And I don't think it hurts them. Well, that's good. It did not look like the turkey was having fun. But again, not an expert. I on Thanksgiving am probably not gonna have turkey. I don't think we're gonna have turkey at all here. And I personally, if I was just cooking for myself, would definitely not have turkey. Although, that being said, I don't think I ever have had fried turkey. And they do, some people do deep fry their turkey. And I bet that's good. I bet that's an enjoyable, tasty way to eat turkey. And if you're one of those people out there who doesn't eat animals, it's okay to eat a turkey or a chicken because they will eat you, and you got to eat them before they eat you. I honestly firmly believe that to be the truth. And if you've never been around chickens or turkeys, these are chickens. I don't know that to be true about chickens and turkeys. I know it to be true about chickens. If you've never been around chickens, you don't know that they are evil monsters with knife feet. I feel like if turkeys were meant to be like, if that was a real issue that turkeys had without human intervention causing something to go horribly wrong, they would be able to burp on their own. But maybe, I don't know. I've heard that, I don't know if this is true. I've heard that wild turkeys will just stare up at the sky and drown to death because they can't figure out what's happening when it's raining. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really know anything about turkeys. There, did I manage to drink my water that time without making gross mouth noises in the microphone? I wish I knew more about turkeys. Maybe I should study turkeys. I should study some turkeyology. Once upon a time, I would go spend the rest of the night down a Wikipedia rabbit hole, learning everything there was to know about turkeys because I just had the thought I should study turkeys. These days, I feel a little bit better about myself. Boop. My grandpa grew up on a farm and he hated turkeys because they were so stupid, and he hated chickens because they were so mean. Your grandfather was a wise and patient man, deserving of high praise. I have heard that wild turkeys are actually smart, but I don't know. I've heard that wild turkey is cheap and will still get you drunk. That was a joke about alcohol. Let's add some highlights to our turkey. Some turkey highlights. Just a little bit of blonde in this turkey's hair. Some like frosted tips of turkeydom, if you will. Just enough to make it say, I'm a turkey and I matter. There's a club if you'd like to go. You could find somebody who really loves you. But you go and you sit on your own and you leave all alone. You go home and you cry and you want to die. A lady on TikTok has repeatedly done it, and maybe her technique is less intense looking. Like I said, I don't know anything about turkeys, so I just have to take their word for it that is what turkeys are supposed to experience. That you gotta burp a turkey. You gotta burp babies. You know, that's a thing we all acknowledge is a thing you have to do. And so babies should evolve the better burping ability. You know, so maybe turkeys and babies have the same shortcomings. Okay. I draw a turkey. You go to the turkey club and you cry and you want to die. You go to the turkey club and you warble and you want to die. That's not a very good turkey noise. That was more of a murloc noise. My murloc and turkey have gotten cross-referenced in my brain. Okay. So, It is $5.25. And so far we have drawn we it's $5.25 and we have accomplished the goal we set out to do tonight. We created Cutter Von Slice, the Carver. He is a pizza cutter with pizza cutters for hands, who wields a chainsaw pizza cutter and is also a vampire. And as insane as that fact is, I feel like we have created something unbelievably special. I forgot to do the reds in his eyes. I'm glad I came back to this picture while you were still on the stream so you guys can see me do it. We have created something truly amazingly special with this character. I legitimately believe this might be one of the best pieces I've ever done. I love it. I absolutely love it. Everything about this is because of you guys, because of the people watching the stream right now. Your support on Patreon, your being here and interacting with me right now, just having this conversation to keep the stream going and engaging. Your ideas, your just conversation, and what you have. This is because of you, and this is peak. This is peak Taco Viking illustration 2024 right here. I love Cutter Von Slice the Carver. Mwah! Chef's kiss. And of course, we can't do something as amazing as Cutter Von Slice without drawing this abomination of a turkey just screaming for no reason, because I think that's what turkeys do. Her vids were my first exposure, and she seems to have fun. You know what? If turkeys are as evil as chickens, I don't care if she is torturing them. She is having fun doing it, and that makes her a good person in my book. When you fight evil with violence, you're not committing violence. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyway, thank you all for your support. I really do appreciate you coming out and hanging out. I appreciate everything that you have done for me and helping me spend the last year really living a dream that I did not think I would ever actually accomplish and growing. And I am so happy to have the community that we have and can't wait to just see how much farther we can grow. So we've got our cast of the Carver for November. I will work on the art print probably this weekend sometime. The Patreon rewards for October are set, but you can still get in on the action for the Carver. If you sign up for Patreon by the end of November, by November 30th at midnight Central Daylight Time, which will be Central Standard Time by then, actually, now that I think about it, time change is coming up. You will be able to get your hands on this magnificent monstrosity of a slasher villain right here. That absolutely worked despite all odds, as well as the rest of the cast of the Carver, the movie with Bite. If you are not familiar with who that is, we can run down through some things real quick. We've got Twistina Notley. Twistina Notley is our vixen. She leads the fan service of the film with her sultry and salty ways as a pretzel Ms. Fan Service. We have the brains of the operation, Duncan O'Leary. Duncan O'Leary is more than just a nerd. He's also a bear claw donut. The best donut I drew on the live stream this week. And of course, Duncan has faced bullies before, not just the Carver, but his own childhood monster, Rick Dillman, the jerk jock sour pickle. He is a sour pickle because he's a jerk. Also, yes, he is a pickle named Rick. But most importantly, of all of the possible things we could see, of all of the characters you will root for as they are hacked to pieces by our beloved pizza carver, Poppy Kernel is there to save the day and bring down his reign of tyranny and terrifying fright. It's a good sticker set. Oh, wait. Also, just for fun, there's Chad Notchmore there also. I almost forgot this guy. This guy is probably the second best. This guy and the Carver. He's handing the Carver's not even going to kill Chad Notchmore. They're going to eat these nachos and watch hundreds of beavers. Because that's what you do when you hang out with Chad Notchmore. You appreciate fine art. Thank you for hanging out. I've had a great time. I'll be back on Monday at 4. At least this upcoming Monday. The schedule might change in the near future as other things come and go in my life. But I will not be going anywhere. I will definitely be streaming. Just watch for if the schedule changes. I'll let everyone know. Thank you very much for hanging out. I hope you'll come back and join me again. If this is your first time in the stream and you have not done so, please feel free to subscribe to the channel so that you'll know when I am live again. And if you enjoyed this entire experience of us drawing Cutter Von Slice, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And leave me a comment letting me know which member of the Carver cast is your favorite. Is it our slasher villain? Is it our final girl? Is it a tub of nachos that just wants to have a good time? Let me know. I appreciate hearing from you. Until next time, remember as always to please stay weird. Have a wonderful evening.